Like many of the parables Jesus told, the story about the talents turned the expectations of his audience upside down. He shocked his listeners with story characters they considered unclean and devious. To understand why, let's investigate the beliefs people in the time of Jesus had about money. Ancient society had a static view of economics. Capital was limited, and the inheritance of wealth was preordained by the gods. The rich naturally had money, and the poor lacked cash. It was as simple as that. Most people died with the lot they were born into. The crowd suspected duplicity and deceit on the part of the few who moved up the economic food chain. Those who made a quick buck usually loaned money at exorbitant rates, backed by the threat of prison if the debtor could not repay. Basically, this was legal extortion. When Jesus preached the parable, rich foreigners owned most of Palestine and controlled almost every aspect of the economy in the region. They squeezed money out of the population any way they could. So when Jesus told his story, his audience couldn't understand why he made the rich man, most likely a foreign landowner, and two servants who quickly doubled their master's money, the heroes of the fable about the kingdom of God. For these people, the reasonable servant was the cautious one, the man who hid his master's money in a time when banks couldn't be trusted. The third man took prudent action, but was held up for verbal abuse and was punished. In context, Jesus told the story to make a point. The kingdom would soon arrive. Its imminent appearance demanded action. Like the servants in the story, missionaries had a commission to go spread the good news and convert as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. God would suddenly appear like the return of the rich foreigner demanding an account. There was no time for caution. The disciple who did not share his faith faced damnation. God would strip away any reward from the lazy follower and give it to the bold. In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus told the story about a choice. Did the last servant really need to be cautious, or should he act boldly? While the story was an allegory about the need to spread the good news, it centered on free will, the ability to choose. Free will is rooted in reason and will. We weigh the options in our minds, judge the pros and cons, then make a choice and act. The process of choosing ends with the consequences of that decision and takes responsibility for it. One choice builds upon another. Like a falling row of dominoes, The choices we make fall upon one another, shaping the direction of our lives. The clearest case for free will is the moral choice. Intrinsically, we are beings capable of choosing between good and evil. A decision one way brings us growth, a choice another way brings us failure, even destruction. Many times the choice we face is not so clear cut, but free will defines us as human. We should not choose haphazardly, neither should we choose timidly. When we use our minds to think the problem through, when we choose based upon our best efforts, when we take responsibility for our actions, then we can know we are truly creatures of a loving God. He created us in His image. We are His children. The ultimate choice we can make is a decision for God. When we direct our lives towards our Father in heaven, we choose life itself.